So I'm doing my project on systemic lupus erythematosus. What it is a chronic inflammatory disease or autoimmune disease that can affect any organ of the body system. It's a major rheumatic disease where there is one case per 2,000 people, and it primarily affects young women between the ages of 15 and 40. It's more common in African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians. So the pathophysiology. As it is an autoimmune disease, the immune system turns against parts of the body it is designed to protect. And in a healthy immune system, the body would produce antibodies and lymphocytes such as B and T cells in order to help fight and destroy bacteria, viruses, and foreign substances that can invade the body. Yet, in lupus, it is characterized by the formation of autoantibodies and immune complexes. And the autoantibodies are produced by an organism against any of its own tissue, cells, or membranes. And immune complex is caused by the deposition of antigen antibodies complexes on the surface of cells, which lead to the development of chronic or acute inflammation. And autoimmune diseases essentially lead to inflammation and damage to body tissue. So patients with systemic lupus erythematosus have a defective elimination of self-reactive B cells, which is a class of lymphocyte, and participates in humoral immunity. And what B cells do is they present an antigen on their cell membrane and allow the antigen to bind to the B cell, which initiates an antibody response. Yet, because B cells have a greater opportunity than T cells to become autoreactive, this is how they contribute to autoimmune diseases. And specifically with lupus, it is contributed by the secretion of autoantibodies. So this increase in secretion of autoantibodies and production leads to tissue damage, which causes tissue injury and leads to more production of antibodies. So it's like a vicious cycle. The development of these specific autoantibodies can be from either genetic predisposition, which is there's not a single gene that can genetically predispose someone to developing lupus, but they believe it's a combination of 4 genes that are involved in determining the likelihood of developing the disease, which tissue and organs it will affect, and the severity of it. In addition to hormonal factors, so imbalance in sex hormone levels can play a role, and environmental triggers such as exposure to UV light, infectious agents, toxic chemicals or substances such as smoking, and certain foods. And the most common type of antibody that lupus patients are presented with is anti-nuclear antibody, which it reacts with the parts of the cell's nucleus. So basically, if you interfere with the function of the nucleus, you'll interfere with the entire function of the cell. So the manifestations of lupus are presented here of how many different body systems it can affect, such as the brain, cardiovascular, pulmonary, integumentary, musculoskeletal, even impairs vision. So it's called the great imitator because it has the ability to affect many different body systems, like I said just before. And its onset may be acute or insidious, and it's characterized by exacerbations or flare-ups and remissions. So the most common musculoskeletal sign is arthritis in the hands or small joints of the body, such as the wrists or knees. And another common sign is the butterfly rash on the face or rash on the hands. Another common thing is fingertips turning blue when you're out in the cold. Sun sensitivity after mild exposure. So with lupus, it's really important patient teaching. As there is no cure for lupus, it can be effectively treated in order to live a completely healthy lifestyle. So it's crucial to address the physiological effect lupus has on patients, such as issues with low self-esteem, capacity for self-care, and treatment, because following treatment regimen is crucial to patient success. Patients with a strong understanding of their disease process and strong perceived control over their illness are less likely to report feeling depressed or anxious. And depression is one of the main potential problems with lupus patients because they feel like they're out of control of their disease. Proper patient education results in improvement in mental health status and fatigue. So managing disease activity, really important with lupus that you teach the patients the warning signs of a flare-up or exacerbation. So these warning signs include increased fatigue, rash, fever, pain, dizziness, headache, or abdominal discomfort. And recognizing these signs is essential in the prevention, as they are warning signals. Developing a support system, such as family, friends, medical professionals, community organizations, and support group, are essential in help providing emotional support, boost self-esteem, and develop coping skills. Stress can also trigger flare-ups, so exercising regularly, using relaxation techniques, keeping a daily schedule, and maintaining adequate communication with medical professionals regarding your condition is essential for stress management. Another really important teaching is protecting the skin from UV rays. As UV rays can trigger disease flares, exposure can trigger the start or worsen a skin rash and can increase joint pain, fatigue, or worsen symptoms. So it's important that patients wear hats, cover arms and legs when in the sun, avoid the sun when it's at its strongest UV, such from 12 to 4 p.m., and wear protective sunscreen, such as SPF 50. Another important teaching is that patients, because the disease affects multiple organs, patients are at much higher risk for developing premature cardiovascular disease. So it's essential that they maintain a healthy lifestyle by regularly exercising, if they smoke, to quit, and eating a well-balanced diet.